Hey, what's up, friends? Thanks for joining me one more time for my YouTube tutorial videos. Today I'm going to cover another lick that I posted on my Instagram page recently. So if you haven't seen that already, here's the lick. Okay, pretty fun stuff. So what's going on here? Again, we're going to go to our good friend, the Augmented scale, because that's basically where I pulled the idea for this from. Like I said before, the Augmented scale can be broken down into triads, specifically in this case, major triads. What I tried to do in this lick was tonicize each triad a little deeper than just a triad. I'm doing major seventh or even major 9 arpeggios for each of those triads. So the triads I'm nailing in this video are B major, E flat major, and G major. And the fingerings are kind of important because I'm not just playing major triads, I'm playing sevenths or even 9s in some cases. So the first one I'm playing is this B major 7 arpeggio. You have your 1, your 3, your 5, 7, 1, 3, 5. Then I'm going to do a 13 and then our 7 again. And the reason I add that 13 is just because I like the way it sounds, and it helps even out the number of notes that I'm playing to make it a lick, which is cool. Now once I get up to the 7th scale degree, I'm going to come back down an E flat major triad. And this is just a triad this time. And then I'm going to expand on it and make it a major 7th by hitting this D natural. There's that shape again. And then that starts the sequence over. To B. So there's some different shapes that I'm playing here. The first one is this shape. Then there's this one, which is just a standard, very guitaristic major triad arpeggio, very good for sweeping, which is what I do when I play that every time in this lick. And then there's this one, which is another major 7th shape that's very guitaristic, but I use that one to kind of change positions. So again, I'm going to play all of them slowly. Now, it's also important to note that I'm doing a little bit of hybrid picking on the way up and some sweep picking on the way down. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just how I ended up doing it to make it as smooth and fast as possible. Let's look at how I'm executing this physically so you can get an idea of the kind of technique to use. So I'm going to pick with a downstroke, hammer on, pick, hammer on, pick, hammer on, upstroke, then I'm going to pull off, and then I'm going to do an upstroke for everything, which is considered a sweep. Then I'm going to pick, change positions, hammer on, pick, hammer on, and here I'll do a pick and my middle finger will come up to get that note, and then I'll do another downstroke below it and slide up into new position. So sometimes I'm doing hybrid picking, sometimes I'm sweeping, and sometimes I'm doing legato, just a mixture of things, and I'm not going to tell you which way is right, because I don't think it really matters how you do it as long as it sounds good. If it sounds good, it is good. So here's the whole thing slowly, just so you can see how I do it. And that's basically how I do it to get it as smooth and quick as possible. Augmented voicing there at the end. Basically at the end of that B major 7th arpeggio, I'm going to hold my pinky and let that A sharp or B flat sustain. And so the notes I'm playing there again is going to be B natural, D natural, G, and then I'm going to reach down with my first finger and play B, all the while letting this G and this B flat up here sustain. And then I'm going to reach up with my middle finger and play that D sharp or E flat. The whole thing's kind of rubato, just to give it a cool vibe, kind of ethereal. So one more time for that. Now, there's a cherry at the end that I threw in there just because, I was practicing, mainly just thinking B major, not specifically B augmented. And that lick that I played at the end was just a good old-fashioned kind of a bop lick a la Charlie Parker in my own way, which is not right or wrong. And how I did that, I'm still thinking B major 7. So what I'm doing there, starting on the 2 or the 9 of B major, which in this case is C sharp. Just doing a chromatic passage up to the 3rd, major 3rd. 5, 6, 7, 9 again, and then come back down chromatically to a G sharp minor. Sharp sound. And then my next target note is going to be C sharp again, or D flat, but I'm using an enclosure. A lot of sax players do this, and smart guitar players do this too. I'm playing a D natural, then my C natural, then up to the C sharp. Now I'm thinking C sharp minor. Basically just an arpeggio with a couple of little passing tones in there to give it that bop sound. 9, 1. And that's just breaking up a C sharp minor 7. C sharp minor is the 2 chord in the key of B major. So that whole bop thing kind of revolves around a 2-5 progression. But you'll notice I slurred most of it in the original lick because I'm kind of doing this hybrid of bop / shred. I'm just trying to maybe just get the notes out as quick as possible to sound cool. And that sounds really good at a fast speed. When you play it fast like that, you almost lose the swing feel you would hear in a traditional bebop style tune, whereas you may hear it like this at a slightly slower pace. And and I'm playing it a little more even, like straight eighths or whatever. And that just kind of ties the whole thing up at the end with a pretty little bow. So the whole thing again, from the beginning. And of course, if you have a little overdrive or something, it's going to sound even shreddier, and you don't have to work as hard because you get more sustain and compression from distortion. So there was a little bit of that going on in the original lick, but I'm not going to use that now because I'm trying to show you what I did. You can always work it up later and use all the distortion you want and play it as fast as humanly possible. And that's cool because people dig that. So I hope this was helpful for you, and thanks for tuning in one more time, and hopefully there will be more to come. So stay tuned.